Okay, let's go and jump some ranked games with a random character and see what we're going to get today. So it looks like we're starting off with the Pyromancer, and it looks like we do got ourselves a fire pit. With the fire pit, we got a whetstone. So I'm going to be trying my best to go for a big old burning blade. Let's take the banana, let's take the flame. We could take the frying pan, but yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to take our hero sword. Now, storage on sale I might take, but I also still want to roll. That's crazy. Crazy good for us. To the point where I'm actually going to sell our storage, as crazy as that is. Sell our storage, take our wooden sword. I'm going to sell this gemstone with a flame, and I'm going to take our whetstone. And I kind of want to go for a hero longsword first, just to guarantee that we get our burning blade. But this is going to be around fun. We don't have any flames in our fire pit, so we don't start off with more max life. But we got double weapons with lots of damage with the whetstones. And we have a banana to keep us a little bit healthy with our stamina. But are we able to take on this Pyromancer? Because they do have a little bit of chippy damage with the Walrus Tusk, but hell yeah. We do manage to win now. Let's grab our flame. Let's grab the stone. Let's roll. That is a glove. We can go for claws attack, or we can go for a falcon blade. I think it's too good not to take, as well as this. I'm going to still rolling like crazy. And we're going to get a hero longsword, that's for sure. But it does mean I'm going to sell the stone and the flame to actually grab it. But hey, let's get going once again. Super quick rounds. We could even end up going for cross blades. But I mean, if we're crafting up one burning blade, wouldn't it be more awesome to go for a second burning blade? But that's quite a bit of whetstones we do need to find. Right, can we take on this Reaper rocking a Goobert shell totem? We're going to have tons and tons of heals. We're going to be inflicting lots of poison. It's looking good for us, but this poison is scaling up on us. And one more chip from that poison and we were done so. But hey, we did manage to win now. And we got ourselves our hero longsword. Now the question is, what should we go for right now? I'm not entirely the biggest fan of echoing Battlecry early on. But should we just take it and try to set up in the long run? I mean, we can use it to get more heats, because these are starter battles. We can use it on our hero longsword to get another +3 weapon damage. We can use it on our gloves to get even faster speed. I think I'm going to take it over the other two options. There's also Goobert for heals. Since it is on sale, I'm going to grab it. But let's keep rolling. I'm going to roll like crazy to try and find ourselves another whetstone, which we did get. Problem is, if we craft up our burning blade right now, our echoing Battlecry is not as good. Now that's also claws attack, which I did kind of want to grab as well. But I also want to craft up a turbo shelly. I think I'm going to have to sell the gloves, unfortunately, so we can grab our whetstone, grab our flame, reserve this bit of storage, and move the heck on. Problem is, it's going to be a lot harder to get our next two whetstones. It might actually be impossible. But we're going to have a big old burning blade with a small burning blade. And we're going to be looking to craft up a chili Goobert, but hey, we're smashing these early rounds. Definitely smashing these early rounds. Now I can also go for a steel Goobert, but yeah, it's not what I really do want to grab. But I did want storage. Let's go ahead and grab a second banana. Let's take the stone and let's roll again. Should we just take the flame? Or should we try to find this whetstone? Hell yeah, all we need is one more whetstone. That's a helmet, which is going to put a dampener on our whetstone hunts, since this is going to be the best starter ball effect for Echoing Battlecry. But hey, let's get going once again. So we should be in a pretty good spot once we do craft up our second burning blade. Now, ever burning would have been awesome for this build, because it reduces the stamina cost of both our weapons. Both our burning blades, or even spinning for dummies would also be awesome. But we'll see how we get on. With our Goobert though, Goobert's coming in clutch, keeping us super healthy as we get our heat stacked up. But can we still beat this mage? Because they're going to get a lot of buffs. We're going to get lots of power, but hey, we do manage to win out. So not too bad. Now that's our chili. That is also our chili. So some pretty darn good options. I'm going to take the chili and I'm going to craft up this chili Goobert. We can't exactly grab our helmet then. We're going to grab this. We also want the health pod so we can craft up a turbo shelly. But we got to get going again. We're definitely getting lucky with the items we are getting. But can we beat this mage? Going to be stacking up spikes with their regen as well as their luck, which is pretty darn decent, especially since it's going to give him crits as well. So we'll see how we get on. We've got tons of heats. And they do get a big old heal with that Power of the Moon. That might have actually saved him. I've seen this Power of the Moon coming in clutch so many times, giving him so much max life. Not just to the opponent, but to me as well, so it's much better than I think it is. But hey, let's go ahead and grab this fanny pack. Grab this fanny pack. I'd love to speed up our bananas. I do want the helmet, but I also want to craft up our turbo shelly. Now, if we sell a bunch of flames, if we sell these 3, we can grab our helper. Which is mad, but I'm going to do him. So I really want this shelly. The faster we get shelly, the better. And yeah, we're going to rock on with this. So I am trying to speed up our echoing Battlecry just a small bit by having our fanny pack in it. Now, helmet's not going to be that great in the fanny pack. It literally does nothing. But if we get our damage reduction again, that's going to be really, really awesome. And we did proc it pretty much immediately. Just giving us that damage reduction for a little bit longer is exactly what we want. Allowing us to scale up our heat, allowing us to deal our damage, and allowing us just to win out. Hell yeah. But anyway, we could have actually went Falcon Blade, Burning Blade. We also got a Time Dilator. Maybe we do want to grab this though. But a Box of Riches on sale. Time Dilator will be great with our Chili Goober, giving us a ton of activations on it. Let's go ahead and grab our Box of Riches. As for gloves, I'm going to leave it. As for this, hell yeah, I'm going to grab it. Crafting up a Capitalist Comforts is going to be too good not to take. For now though, we're going to have to make pretty bad use of our Fire Pit because I do want to craft up our Turbo Shelly. Craft up our Turbo Shelly. Should be incredibly awesome for us. And I'm going to get going. With a Capitalist Comfort to reduce our opponent's healing to give us damage reduction for a longer period of time is going to be really, really awesome. However, we are facing a Excalibur with a freaking Poison Goober and a Nice Armor. Holy moly, yeah, there's no way we're beating this adventure. They hit some pretty nuts items. But at least we got our Turbo Shelly. Now the next question is, what should we go for? Should we go Friendly Fire and just try to turbo stack heat like there's no tomorrow? Or should we go Dragons and just get a bunch of Dragons to deal loads and loads of damage? It is a star battle effect, so we can trigger this again as well. I think since it is on sale, I'm going to take it. Giving us a Sapphire Egg. Not exactly what I want. We're going to take this. Armor to Life is actually pretty darn smashing. Let's take a little blue gemstone. I'm going to roll again. Now this is what I'm talking about. Dragon on sale. Another Chili Goober will be amazing. And I think it's time we actually craft up our little tiny hero sword into a burning sword. We should have done that. But let's go ahead and grab our Emerald Egg. We have a small bit of an issue with our storage, especially with having no stamina with our bananas in. We do want to hatch up our eggs so we can make use of our Burning Blade's damage. Chili I do want to grab, but I think I'm going to have to roll. Mana Orb we could take. With the Glowing Crown we could go for Invulnerability. We do have a bunch of starter battle effects though. So I kind of want to go for a bunch of helmets. And we could sell one banana and our little tiny topaz. Which I think we're going to have to do for this storage as well. So we can have her set up like so. Box of Riches I'd love to add in, but we just can't, so yeah, we're going to rock on with this. Now once we hatch up with one dragon, we're going to get a big old power spike. We start off with 6 looks, so we're going to have 100% accuracy. And we'll see how we deal. Going to begin Burning Blade Dragon with Friendly Fire. You're going to get tons of heat stacking. And we could be in trouble because of that. Especially with the Island, we're going to get a lot of skilling damage on the Burning Blade. The saving grace is with our Chili Goobers, we actually end up stacking up a decent bit more heat. And you know, not too bad. Do we know? Now this is the dragon I'm looking for. This right here. The Ruby Egg, because we can craft this up in its Obsidian Dragons. We can also go Flame Up if we want to. But I think I'd prefer going for a Ruby Egg. Not going to take the Bootsader. And unfortunately we do need some storage. Dragons do take up a crap ton of storage. I'd love to keep our Box Ridges, but these dragons are way too expensive. But we do need to sell something. We're always a little bit behind in monies. I think we sell our little tiny blue gemstone to go ahead and grab this for now as well. We got a little bit of startup battle effects. We should be able to get a ton of damage on our dragon. It is going to be inflicting poison, which is not what we want. We can't put this in without taking out a flame, which I'm down for. And I'm going to rock on once again. If we find one more whetstone, we're going to be in a crazy good spot. We'll see how we face a Piercing Arrow, Falcon Blade, Hunger Blade. They're going to try to get a bunch of Vampirism, keeping them super healthy. But we got some heal reduction on them. They're dealing some big damage to us though. And they do, unfortunately, end up beating us out. But hey, at least we got our Ruby up. Now I think at this point, we have one clear option. We could take Nourish Please. It's going to be counterintuitive to what we want to do, which is deal damage from the beginning with Burning Blade Dragons. So we can't really take this. I mean, it is a Star Ball effect, perfect for Echo and Battlecry. But we also got Hardwood, which is also another Star Ball effect, giving us a crap ton of block. Especially with all the flames being common items, it's going to be a clear winner. Stone could be pretty good if we manage to get armor, but I'm going to take Hardwood. Hardwood is going to be really nice. We could go for a Molten Greatsword, but I think we roll. That's another Dragon Egg. We need the storage, and we need this Halma. Problem is, our Hardwood is going to be 20 block, which is not ideal. Especially since we need another dragon. Now, Goobert might have to go. We might have to sell good old Gooberts. We're going to sell this too, which is mental, because I do want to hatch up another dragon. That's going to be way too important not to do. And yeah, let's get going again. We might want to replace our little tiny burning sword for a freaking wooden sword. But we do lose a lot of heals, we do lose a lot of scaling damage, but with double helmets in, we should be able to get quite a bit of damage reduction. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. Can we beat the Poison Ivy Dead Side? Definitely so. Definitely so. And that's a second Cap Discomforts. I really want to grab this, but we're going to roll looking for storage, and holy moly, did we get storage? And the problem I'm having is trying to fit a Dragon's Nest with a Burning Blade. I mean, if we have her set up like so, then we still get our heals from our dragons, we get the damage from our Burning Blade, we get the damage from our Burning Blade, tiny Burning Blade on our dragon, so it should be pretty darn awesome in this position. And this is looking much better for ourselves. The problem is, I don't really want our flames to be targeting our Echo and Battlecry, but this should be really awesome for us. Especially once we get our second Cap Discomfort to reduce our opponent's healing. We could grab this Unidentified Amulet, but I'm going to roll. And we could go for a Katana. Not as interested in it. I think we roll on with this. But I think this is possibly going to be our best setup. The way we have it. We start off with 95 block. We start off with damage reduction. Give us time to scale up our heats. And we should be able to activate more heats with our Echo and Battlecry, which would be amazing. However, this double axe is going to start dealing some big old damage if we don't take him out. And just barely win it out. Holy moly. That was a bit close. Now we do get a stable Recombobulator. I mean, this is a crazy good unique. And it would be dumb not to take it because it's going to be free monies. But we're going to start offering up items like these. But let's take this tiny bit of storage. We could do a big old gamble. Problem is, I do want to grab the Dragon Egg. But I kind of just want to offer up a flame for now, because this is going to be 4 gold instead of 1 gold. It's not ideal though either. I'm going to take this out too, and I will be taking a set of healing herbs, which is going to be another starter ball effect, which I don't really want. But since we only got a tiny bit of storage, I think I'm going to rock on with this. But 2 Caps Discomforts, 40% heal reduction on our opponents, with a 30% chance to nullify a bunch of balls is kind of nuts. Really awesome. Give us our time to scale up our damage and just beat out our opponents. Although they did manage to get their Stone Golem online, give them a crap ton of block and some power scaling. And they might bring it back. We got a big old heal. It's looking super dicey. And yeah, we actually end up losing out. Really not ideal. But hey, we got ourselves a puzzle bag of energy. Not great, but storage all the same. Let's take you. Let's roll again. Let's go and grab this. If not anything great, it is fantastic. We want to grab ourselves an armor. We never ever want to sell this. We want to grab more storage. I'm wondering, do we want to offer up our software egg with our stable Recombobulator? I mean, we could hatch it up, or we could offer it up, because it is worth quite a bit of golds, which I'm also down for. Also, we got some gemstones, which do reduce our opponent's healing. We can get a tiny bit of lifesteal. And yeah, I think we rock on with this. Is this going to be good enough? We'll see. We should be able to start off with maybe 2 in power. Yeah, definitely going to be 2 in power. And if we trigger our armor again, our hardwood, we should be able to get even more in power. So it should be pretty darn sweet. But can we beat this life-stealing Reaper? We do got tons of healing reduction. And awesome, we definitely do. But hey, what are we going to get? A lantern berry. Okay. This is going to cleanse some debuffs. It's going to protect our own buffs. Yeah, I'm going to offer that up. Let's take you 2. Let's offer you up as well. Even though we could speed up our dragons. Let's take this as well. And I'm tempted to grab you, but I'm going to keep going. An obsidian dragon. He's exactly what I've been looking for. So I'm going to sell our set of blueberries. And I will be taking this. And I'm going to be crafting up 1 obsidian dragon at least. I also want a fanny pack. And I was wanting to get more storage for our hardwood. So we can get a small bit more block. Because each block is worth 20 block. And if we get 2 activations or 2 slots filled, we get another power, which is amazing. Which we should have right now. We could take out our Amulet of Life for another 20 block, because we do have 2, 4, 6, 7, 140 block. If we had 160, we would get 4 in power, so maybe you do want to take this out and place our whetstone in. It's not the most ideal item to have in, but I think we're going to rock on with this. So it should be fantastic. 72% heal reduction as well. We're going to be offering up our lantern berry along with this as well. So we should be able to get a high value item. And you know what? Amazing. Definitely amazing. Now, how did we fare up again a Pyromancer Mage type combo? We do have about a 60 DPS, which is pretty darn smashing. Our opponent did only have 20 DPS. But we did have damage reduction for a long time. In terms of heals, yeah, 120 healing per second. Dragon's Nest, actually not doing a whole lot, but this never really heals for that much anyway. So prioritizing our healing on our dragons, yeah, it's not too great. In terms of max life, we did manage to get about 35. Fire Pick giving us a whopping 15. It doesn't give us a whole lot of healing or max life. It's great early on, but terrible towards the end game. And in terms of block, we got 200 block, all coming from our hardwood, amethyst steel, and 2 protect little purse. But I do believe we have what it takes to make a super crazy awesome build. Especially that we got some big old storage. I mean, big old items. Fanfare. What a Spectral Dagger. We could keep the Spectral Dagger, but I'm also tempted to get rid of it. But we need the storage. We also need this storage too. And I'm thinking about taking a Stone Skin Pot, but I'm going to roll. Now, I really want to grab this to potentially craft up another Cap of Discomfort, but that's another Dragon Egg, which I also really want. It's also armor that I want to trigger on our Echo Battlecry again. But I'm also wondering what the hell I do with this puzzle bag improvement. Do we want to slot it in this position? Getting some extra heat maybe? Maybe getting some extra luck. Also, what the hell am I doing? We're taking this 150,000%. We're crafting up a second Burning Blade. Definitely going to craft up that second Burning Blade. As for the armor, I might go crazy and I might sell it. And I'm definitely going to take another one of these. Another one of these so we can potentially go for another Cap of Discomfort is going to be amazing. Because triple of these is 90% heal reduction with another 12%. So we stop our opponents from healing, we take 75% less damage, and then after that we're going to have damage reduction. But holy moly, are we getting shredded. And we don't survive that. We definitely do not survive that. However, we got a Spiked Wall, which I'm going to sell faster than I can even consider it. But let's take our Dragon Egg. Take our Dragon Egg, make sure we don't offer it up. I'm going to take this tiny bit of storage, and I'm going to roll. Even though that was a wooden sword, we could have actually grabbed as well. Now, I do want to burn a coal, and I want to place it in this spot. Because that's not going to be a start of all effect, but it is going to be a common item. Let's take you 2. I'm going to take this final bit of storage, and I'm going to keep rolling. And I want to find ourselves one final helmet, so I'm going to try my best to try and grab it. But we'll see how we get on with this. We should be able to get quite a bit of block with our hardwood for now. I'm not offering up anything with our Stable Recombobulator, or maybe that might be a bit of a misplay in the holy freaking corrupted armors. We're never ever cleansing any debuffs. They're going to have insane debuffs on us. As long as they don't have too much blind, we should be in a pretty good spot so we can deal our damage. But this shield is going to eat up all our stamina. But hey, not too bad. We do manage to win out, and we're going to get ourselves our other dragon. Now it is the final round of craft, so we've got to be very, very choosy. I'm also debating on what we do with our Burning Blade. But I'm going to take an extra stone. I'm going to take our healing herbs. I'm going to roll. Another corrupted helmet will be amazing. A vampirism will be kind of nice. Let's keep going. Not sure if we do want a bird block. Maybe we should just be taking the block potion. You know what? I'm going to take it. Let's roll again. That's one final obsidian dragon. We could hatch up another dragon. The problem I'm having right now is with our hardwood, we need one more common item on it. So we can either take our banana and have our flames in like so, and actually have two, but then put our banana up top and we don't get as much value as I want to. I'm also going to sell our regen so we can craft up a second obsidian dragon. But we can't hatch open our dragon egg as much as I'd love to. So I think we're going to move on. Also, this hell pot is going to be phenomenal. Or this stone skill pot is going to be phenomenal for Turbo Shelly. It's going to give us more power. It's going to give us more defenses. It's a no-brainer to take, so let's go and move on. Now, it doesn't really matter too much about our Dragon's Nest. It's going to be in this spot anyway. But we should be able to deal massive damage, especially with 6 in power and multiple dragons. Now, our opponent has crazy cold mirrors. They're going to get a big explosion of buffs. And they're eating up all their stamina with their shields. They got crazy spikes. But I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Now, they do get the power of the moon for a bunch of max life. They might have just survived us, actually. And we could be in trouble. When I said it's not going to be too much of an issue, I meant that we just barely survived. Holy moly. Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Right, at least we got our Obsidian Dragon. And we can have it set up so we can have crits on this Burning Blade. We can also have crits on this Burning Blade, but then our dragons will have to be around this Burning Blade, which I think is going to be somewhat decent for us. I'm wondering, should we go ahead and grab an Eidolon for some scaling damage as well? If we want to grab ourselves a leather armor, do we actually want to add in a common weapon, which we could have done for even more damage? Or how about we just roll? How about we just roll? Do we want fancy rapier? Let's keep going. Now, another Obsidian Dragon I would have loved to have grabbed. Definitely would have loved to grab. But let's keep going. Do you want a mana orb? Do you want a set of blueberries? Actually, none of these items. We could take them in Ekineku. Place it down in this position and place our unique item beside it, and that's perfect. It speeds up all our dragons, not our burning blades, because they are going to be just legendary items. But it's going to speed up our Obsidian Dragons, our Ruby Whelp. It's going to be kind of amazing. We roll again. And contemplating selling our Dragon's Nest. Now, it does give us a bunch of buffs at the very beginning, so maybe I do want to keep it. We can also sell our Corrupted Crystal, since it's not going to do anything anyway. So I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to keep rolling, and that's exactly what I'm going to take. So I might do something a little bit crazy, and I might sell our Dragon's Nest. When we sell our Dragon's Nest, we take our armor, and that's going to be a lots of power for us. We should be in a pretty good spot in what we have right now as well. But hey, I did move around the setup just a tiny bit more to try to get more value. I think Hardwood in this spot is going to be a little bit better, because we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 activation, which means 260 block. We still get our Amethyst Steel to target our potions, and we speed up our Turbo Shelly by an insane amount. So yeah, I think we're going to move on with this. We did lose on our Dragon's Nest, but I don't think we're going to need it, and let's slow it down. We are facing a Thornbloom Piercing Arrow, double rainbow, with a Paradise Burb and crazy vampirism. Now they're going to be trying to get a ton of max life as well as a ton of vampirism. But can we beat them out? They're trying to speed up that Thornbloom so they activate their potions. We're dealing massive damage because dragons with burning blades deal crazy damage. But hey, not even close. But hey, we did end up with an 81 DPS being our burning blades, our obsidian dragons, our ruby whelps, even our emerald whelp putting in some damage for us too. But our opponents did have some damage reduction, decreasing our damage by quite a bit for the first few seconds of the fight. Even with 50% damage reduction for the first 5 seconds, yeah, we dealt quite a bit of damage. In terms of heals, we ended up healing for 22, but we weren't relying on healing anyway. And in terms of block, we did manage to get 440 block. Hardwood giving us 260, and if it procs again, we get another 260. It's quite a bit of block. With our stone combats, giving us 60 each as well. But it's been a long time since I got dual burning blades, and especially with dragons, they get so much damage. But hey, we did survive 2 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get with our dragons. Plus 9, not too bad actually. But I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back in some round 18 fights, and we're going to see how we can deal With some other builds, we are facing a Dragon Knight with a Jin's Lamp with a pop. They're going to be trying to stack up a lot of buffs. They get invulnerability, to block our damage with shielded. They have the big old turtle for lunts of block, but it's not going to matter. Awesome. And can we take on this Burning Blade Friendly Fire? Now, they have pretty similar setup. They got themselves a Hardwood, except with Friendly Fire. They're going to be stacking up heat without dragons. Yeah, it's not going to be close. And finally, can we deal with a Cryomancer? They're going to be slowing us down by quite a bit. They're going to be rocking the Ice Dragon as the solo weapon. But I don't think it's going to be close, even with this much cold on us. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to smash out. Now, they do have a Snowmaster, which is kind of interesting, but it's not going to save him.